kind of remarkable to think that pretty significant portion of the population is just winging it.
You know what? I hadn't thought about it that way, Jesse, but you're absolutely correct. A great percentage of the population is absolutely just winging it. But think about it. We're trained to go to school, we're trained to do jobs. When did anybody ever talk about training to be in a relationship?
Never.
Never. Exactly. And I remember years ago there was a book, what was it? Dr. John Gray, Men Are from Mars, Women Are from Venus. And that kind of started a little bit of the dialogue, but there's still so much more work that has to be done. And it takes people who are willing to do the work. That's the other portion of it, because the information is out there now. And there are enough coaches and counselors, all over the place. But if you really want it, you have to go and get it. And that again falls into that accountability portion.
Yeah, I think the typical mode of approach is just, learn from your mistakes from past relationships. So that becomes a list of what you don't want.
Yes. And you know what? That can take a long time,
Yeah.
right? But if you sit down now, especially if you're single, I think that's one of the best times for you to sit down and go through. And that's why I created the reflection lessons inside of I Am Not an Option, because I wanted women to sit down, look at themselves, go through their past relationships, and if you can do that prior to getting in another one, then it strengthens you, it gives you more revelation and insight about who you are and what you're bringing into your life. So
Mm.
it starts there. And then once you do meet somebody, it's time once again to look at yourself and say, okay, do I want to redefine myself again? Am I good with where I am? What are my areas of weakness? If I need somebody to be in my life in order to be happy, I probably want to fix that before I get into this relationship,
Mm.
and really look at yourself. And then once you have this conversation with what I call in the book your PLP, which is your possible life partner, if you get that far, it's easier, a little bit easier. Okay. Not easy, but a little bit easier for you to be honest, because you know yourself and you've been looking at yourself and you know what you want and you know your strengths and your weaknesses and your shortcomings. And if you're willing to deal with them, it's going to make your life easier.